Understand that for 2 months straight, I rode a yellow and pink bicycle to school for 2 months straight. And that was the hardest part of my life.
Watch your mouth, no dissing me. You know we all saw it. You say I'm fake, that's your opinion, that's just y'all story. Just face the fact I was y'all blessing.
The decision that I ever made in my life was moving away from family and trying to make it on my own. I think that was the biggest decision that I ever made. Granted, you know, that I only moved like 4 hours away. If you just watching this, you know I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, you know what I'm saying, Duval County. I moved from North Florida to South Florida, Miami, Florida. Well, it's like 30 minutes away from Miami. I live in the Coconut Creek region. So that had to be the biggest decision in my entire life that I had to make. The hardest part about coming home was when I came home with a lot of issues and problems. And I'm not the type of person to talk about my problems. I'm the type of person that I hold everything inside. And I think that came from being a child, you know. And people always say, well, that can't come from being a child because, forget what people say. That's not how I live. That came from being a child because, you know, I lived in a household where my household was corrupted by demons. You get what I'm saying? All kinds of, and angels too. I'm not just gonna make it seem like it was crazy, but I went through a lot as a child. So one thing I've learned that I had stuck with as a child was don't talk about your problems. You know, deal with them by yourself. So coming back from the military, I think the biggest problem was I left Colorado Springs, drove all the way to Jacksonville, Florida, and I brought those demons with me. Instead of leaving those demons there and handling those problems there, I brought those demons with me. And that caused me so much corruption in life till I literally mentally almost went crazy. The main reason I truly moved to South Florida was because of the BAH that I would get from getting out of the military. I think the closest to what I'm getting now was in Tampa, Florida, which is about $1,800 and some change every month. What I get now is like past that. And the reason why I wanted to do that was because, like I said, when I was in the military, I was in a relationship, and my credit was good. Her credit was fucked up. I'm sorry. She was fucked up. But that shit was fucked up, and at the time, I was super safe, motherfucker. So, you know, I was like, well, since I get most of it there, then I'm gonna move to South Florida. So that was the real reason why I moved to South Florida. Another reason was because when I was in the military, the relationship I was in got me in so much trouble. I went from E4 all the way down to E1 due to the complications and everything within that relationship. So with that being said, I lost a lot of money. And kept all the bills. Unfortunately, Uncle Sam and all them other cousins and brothers and mothers and shit, they don't really care about you losing your job. They want your money. So at the time, I had a 698 credit score. This is before they moved the credit score to like the 700s and something to 800s. So I had really good credit. I put everything on my credit. Everything. I went to Wells Fargo and got $11,000 credit card. So that way I can keep up with my bills. I ended up getting out of the military, still having that credit card, and financially I just deteriorated so bad. Like, so bad, bro. Like, shit really started going crazy for me. I went down. You know what I'm saying? And then at that time, Shorty was using me too. You know, and I heard this from her own mouth. You know what I'm saying? When she got back with her ex, she was like, I was just using you. And at this time, when she told me that, yeah, I think we was talking through an email. And she was like, I was just using you to get what I wanted. And now that I got what I want, I'm done. And at first, it kind of hurt me. You know what I'm saying? But then, you're lost, bro. You gotta understand, I don't get sad about it a lot no more because I've been through a lot. And plus, the woman I got now blows hot the water. Yeah. So to all my fans, from my understanding, this is the last question before we get up close and personal. So I'm gonna answer this question as honest as possible. You see, I got the glasses on. I gotta take them off. So the question was, who would I like to thank and why? First and foremost, God. Nothing is possible without God. I swear to God. I swear to God, it's God. But God, man, nothing is possible without God. My grandmama is gonna be the first person. Because when I got home, I was ripping and running trying to find out where the hell I was going to go. Well, excuse me, not where the hell I was going to go, but I was ripping and running trying to find out how I was going to get the money to get into the apartment down here in South Florida. Understand, living in South Florida is not cheap. I started out paying $1,430 for a 1-bedroom apartment that's only 700 and maybe 50 square feet. $1,430. That's not including valet trash. That's not including water and sewage. That's not including light bill. That's not including car note. That's not. I really wish I was a fucking child again. I wish. You know, I actually text my mom. I think it was a meme going around where it was like, text your mom and tell her she should pay your bills because you didn't ask to be here. I actually text my mama that. And it's amazing because the only thing she say was, Brandon, are you drunk? Even though I was drinking at the time. No, I wasn't drunk. I was serious. But, you know, my grandmama first because I had to come up with, I don't want to lie, I had to come up with, I think, $1,100 to move in. And my whole thing is, if you can't do it, tell me you can't do it. That's my whole thing. Don't lie to me. If I need $1,100 and all you could give is $5, I'll take the $5. I had an uncle, man. I'm not gonna put him out like that. I'm not gonna say his name, but I am not gonna lie. I hope he do. I hope like hell he do see this video. I called him up and I was like, look, I need this much money. Whatever you can give me, I'll take. It don't have to be the whole thing. And one thing about this nigga, he love to brag about what he got. And I was like, I just need this much. You know what I'm saying? He said, okay, call me tomorrow. I called that nigga 27 times that day. He ain't answered the phone not one time. He ain't called me back. He ain't do shit. But you know what my grandmama did? My grandmama, she said, son, I can't give you the full 11. I'm going to give you what I can give you. And she pulled out $250. $250 out of $1,100. I was so grateful for that. Because at the time, and this is no disrespect to my mama at all, at the time, my mama didn't want me to move to South Florida because it was expensive. Here's the thing, I get BAH. People in the military know exactly what BAH is. If you don't know what BAH, that's housing and food pretty much for the area that you live in. So I get BAH because I'm a veteran. So that money comes every year on the 1st, never late. Sometimes that bitch even come on the 28th or the 29th. Excuse me, 29th or the 30th. So I'm telling my mama my plan. I'm telling all these people my plan. All I gotta do is get in this apartment. I get in this apartment, I can pay all your money back. The first person that gave up some money was my grandma, man. She gave me $250. And the only reason why she ain't give me that much was because, that she gave me that much was because that's all she could get, because she had other problems going on that she had to pay for. But throughout that, my grandma gave me $250. So she deserves the very first thank you. The very first thank you. After God. The second person I want to thank is my uncle. And believe it or not, his name is Gene Joselle. I call him Snug. The family call him Snug. You might know him in the street as Gino. Well, I done put the nigga whole government out. But, you know, at the time, he was like, nephew, all I could give you was 40. But you gotta understand, what nobody giving me nothing. My daddy, man, he owns a tire shop. I ain't even asked him for the whole thing. I said, Pop, I need $250. But mind you, he wasn't there for me for shit in my life. And I told him, I texted him, I was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I need help. I need $250. I'll pay you back on the 1st. And he was like, all right, I got you. And I went there that day that I was supposed to come pick up the money. That nigga changed, man. Well, I can't say he changed. He just been the nigga he always been. The nigga was like, I don't understand why you moving down there anyways. Just giving all kind of excuses so he wouldn't have to give me the money. That nigga been doing that my whole life. So I ended up not getting the money from him. So them little $40 that my uncle gave me, that shit make me feel some type of way. But then again, shit, outside of my stepdaddy, my uncle was my daddy. So that shit really meant a lot to me, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't blame him for only giving me 40 because he got a girlfriend, a house, and a motherfucking child. So the $40 was a lot because you ain't have to give me nothing. And I mean that. Thank you. Last person, my mom. I want to thank my mom, even though she came along late because she didn't want me to go. You know, my mom, when I got here, on my way here, my mom gave me a little envelope. It had like $500 or $600 in it for me to start off. I understand why you ain't want me to go. Well, I understand why you didn't want me to go. I had already been going for 3 years. But sometimes in life you gotta move on. You gotta leave to go to do better. So the last person I would think is my mama, because that money really came in handy. I love you. The hardest part of my journey was if you follow me on Instagram, or if you went to the school that I went to, you'll understand that for 2 months straight, I rode a yellow and pink bicycle to school for 2 months straight. And that was the hardest part of my life. That broke me as a man. I can't say that, because that's when all kind of things was happening. And people just looked at me like, damn, like, you riding a bike to school and you riding a yellow and pink bicycle to school? The reason why is because somebody gave me that, because I didn't have the money for anything else. You know, I had bank fraud. Somebody stole $250 out of them. Somebody stole $2,500 out of my bank account. I was damn near poor, because that one setback literally caused me almost $10,000, in which my credit card was $11,000. So just because of that setback, because somebody's only stole $2,500, like, you gotta understand what kind of setback that put people in. I mean, I don't wish no bad luck on them. Fuck them. Way I feel about it. But my thing about it is, you know, that shit broke me. I rode 5 miles to school and 5 miles back on that bicycle. And, you know, like I said, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I tried my best to not let it bother me, because I had a car, but I had so many problems with my car. So, you know, I did my thing. I posted it. You know, I used to ride a bicycle and record, you know what I'm saying, post it on Instagram, like, you know, this is what I got to do. It is, but, you know, that shit broke me. That shit broke me. It broke me as a man. It really broke me. I felt helpless. That was my hardest part.
I'm number one like on Penny. I used to shot JT Penny. Now I go fuck up in Lenny. Spend a few hundreds on Penny. Ever since I can remember, since elementary, all I wanted.